Okay, these are my Wesco by Ironheart International Warren boots. Um, they're 7-inch Color 8 Chromexcel service boot built on the MP Last double row stitch down construction. I forget what this Vibram sole is called. I'm so bad at Vibram sole names that isn't the Montagna. But kind of a ripply. You can see some of the rubbers coming apart over there. But kind of almost like a Western kind of cowboy boot feel, but in leather. Leather stacked heel, single piece backstay. You could vaguely make out the Wesco logo there. Rolled top, black leather edge, black cotton laces. And it's a handsome boot. I've worn these quite a bit, not a ton. They're certainly not an everyday driver, but I've worn them a bunch. And I've taken decent care of them. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. They're happy, they're healthy. Just a beautiful, supple Chromexcel. You've got 8 antique brass eyelets, and that's it. Beautiful stitching on this one. It's a boot that is not made anymore. It was a limited edition when it was made. And it's cool. Look at all that. Look at that patina. Beautiful. Wesco, like all the other Pacific Northwest, well, at least like White's, has this kind of really big shelf over here where it's pulled in for the arch support. Get that big leather shelf. And I don't know, kind of imagine a couple of little creatures hanging out over there, maybe fishing off the edge of that. Yeah, it's a beautiful, simple boot. 100 years. 100 years. West Coast Shoe Company since 1918. Really, really cool. Beautiful, beautiful, simple, sleek service boot designed by Chris Warren and his brother, I believe. Kind of, to be their take of like a military, 20th century military service boot. Did they achieve that? I don't know. Like, it's just a service boot. Does it scream military to me? No, not at all. But, just something about it it screams, I don't know, 20th century iron worker or something. But these are great boots. I have, I like Wesco a lot. I don't have any other pairs. Well, I've got a really old vintage pair that I'm actually going to send in to get repaired. But I don't have any of their fancy engineer boots or anything. God, I remember there was one engineer, a Mr. Lou, in my size that I just snoozed on because it was like $350, and I was like, that's so much money. And then of course it sold right away, and then I was like, oh, that's actually a great deal. Reminds me of I'm trying to buy a carpet, and I asked someone, what their best price is, and they're like, oh, 125, and then they reached out later and they're like, actually, I see these are going online for $2,000, so I'm not going to sell it. I was like, okay, good. I'm like, that's actually awesome. Good for you. Anyway, yeah, beautiful boot. Chromexcel, not the Vintage Future. What's his name? He's got that other channel. Casual Vintage. No. Vintage Future. No. Is it the Vintage? Anyway, what's that guy's name? He's so cool. He's got a big beard now, but he dresses kind of old timey, and he's kind of a really big quality snob in a beautiful way, in a way that I respect. I don't agree with, but I really respect. God, I feel so bad. No, there's Dave from the Vintage Future, and then, man, but he's got like some of the nicest boots in the world. What made me think of him? Oh yeah, and he has a whole thing about it. Is Chromexcel overrated? And then there's also great the Horween podcast, Nick Horween, with the Ashland leather guy. What's his name? God, we're just ruining people's names. But that's also Dave, right? I don't know. He's a really sweet guy. He seems really cool. But yeah, they have a great conversation about Chromexcel. But, it's such a killer leather. It's kind of like your average boot leather done in the best way. That's how I would see it. It's combination tan. It's oily and waxy. It's versatile. There's really not a whole lot not to love unless you're a certain kind of, unless you're very particular in what you like. But if you just kind of like nice leathers and want to see them do their thing, this is a struck through die, as you can see. Chromexcel is a great option. I was just thinking the other day, I'm finding more excuses to get more boots. I don't have a ton of Horween Chromexcel leather boots. I really don't. I've got Horsehide. I've got lots of Horween waxed rough outs. And I've got a lot of rough out boots. I don't know if I have just your quintessential service boot in a Chromexcel leather, except for these. So I guess I'm literally talking about them, and I'm like, I don't have enough of them. But I think I mean more in like a natural Chromexcel or even a brown look Chromexcel. Like I had the Wolverine 1000 miles in brown Chromexcel, but I sold those. I do have an old pair of the 1892 Thorogood Heritage boot line, and those are in like almost like a tan Chromexcel, I think. Those are really, really nice. You see the rubbers kind of doing that. It's meant to do that, I guess. I mean, clearly that's what the design, it's just made to be softer and have lots of grip without doing much for the silhouette. That's the idea of this sole. Is it the perfect outsole? Not for me, but it works really nicely on these boots, and I get it. You can't mind that happening. That's kind of what this does. And then I guess eventually when it's all gone, then you would get it resold. But yeah, again, those scratches and the rolling is beautiful. Chromexcel's, back to it being such a versatile leather, is like you have the cheaper Chromexcels going to Thursday boots, and then you have the nicer tensils to be thicker stuff going to, Wesco and Nicks and all that. And again, yeah, it's pretty cool that there's $200 Thursdays being made with Chromexcel, and then you've got, John Lofgren's being made as well with Chromexcel. So if someone pronounces it Chromexcel, they're going to have a hard time with this video, because we're not doing that. We're doing Chromexcel. Yeah, whether we're right or wrong, we're going down with that ship. Where was I going with that? But yeah, this just seems really nice. They talk about the Chromexcel, the Horween, the Chromexcel lottery. This is rolling just beautifully. Here you have a little bit more creasing, but personally, I love that. I just think it looks so cool, and kind of, I like, because burgundy feels like a color. It feels like a dressier leather to me, but the fact that these are just like worn in the most perfect ways, I think is a really, really good thing. It's really, really cool. Now let's look at the silhouette. There's something about it that makes it feel like, yeah, this is a nicer boot. This is a more expensive boot. The last is really, really nice. The arch support, stitched down construction, the leather, the clicking. But there's something just about the silhouette. If you look at it kind of like this, you're not going to find a cheaper boot that just has this kind of silhouette. I don't know what it is, because it doesn't cost more money to make a perfect silhouette. It's like you're cutting the boots, but it kind of does. It does, in the sense that you're not finding cheaper boots with this beautiful of a silhouette. There's something about this that just really does it for me. It's the 7-inch, it's the roll top, it's the slight curve, it's the proportions. The proportions of this boot is perfection to me. Just the quarters, the stitching, the lack of anything going on here. It looks just big blank quarter, very, very simple. It's got that kind of pulled forward PNW boot influence, obviously, because it is a PNW boot. It's a Wesco. Yeah, something about this just feels perfect. They achieved this boot perfectly. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have much else to say about these boots. They're really, really nice. I did sell them because I have too many boots, so I'm really pumped for them to just, go to a new home. And that's the beautiful thing of being into high quality footwear, is that you could sell them, get some of your money back, and they could continue their life with someone else who will appreciate them. If you're not able to take good care of them, or if you're not able to give them the wear that they deserve. This last just wasn't perfect for me. It is a really, really nice last, but just a bit too wide for my foot particularly. I go a C width for all my my PNW boots, and man, oh man, with every day with having this channel. Which, by the way, if if this is your first time, thanks for listening and watching. But also, yeah, if you've been watching, it means the world. I've had some lovely conversations with people, and I'm just grateful. Again, I don't do this for, like, like, even if I was offered affiliate links, I don't know if I would do that. It just feels a little bit wrong. I'm not trying to sell anything. I really sincerely, I'm not against selling anything. It's just, it's so fun just talking about boots and nerding out, and that is genuinely the goal. So please do comment, and I'm not saying that because of the algorithm. I'm saying that because I just want to hear your thoughts, even if it's critiquing me or criticizing me. I've had some great criticisms that I've enjoyed as well. So please share whatever your thoughts are. And yeah, there's just some wonderful people from all over the world actually in the comments of some of my other videos, which is so cool and so nice. So all that to say, like, having a boot like this, go on to a new owner that's going to take great care of it. Maybe they'll condition it, maybe they'll throw in a new pair of laces and they'll keep wearing it. And I'll get back to the sizing thing in a second, but, and maybe they'll resole it, and it's just, this boot's going to have a whole nother life. It's so cool. It's really awesome. I'm very, very grateful for that. Yeah, every day with boot sizing, it's like I continue to be proven correct. Someone else will kind of give a testimonial of what sizing worked well for them compared to their brand, not compared to their sneaker size. And I just, like, I kind of put my hands up and I go, my God, I had like a whole size removed experience. P&W boots, a lot of people will say go just a half size down from your sneaker size or your Brannock. And it's like, I got to go like a whole size down and a width down from my sneaker size. So every day when this happens, I keep going like, I really don't want to talk about sizing because I don't want to turn people, I don't want to tell someone what I think, what works for me. And then they spend $700 on a Pacific, let's say they get a Wesco. Like, I tell them, okay, here's how my sizing for Wesco worked or didn't work. Then they go buy a Wesco. They got to wait 14 months. I think that's the wait time now. I think it's down to like 14 or 16 months. And then they get them. They're like, dude, this is a whole size off. What the hell? Or, even if they don't come back to me, just them having that bummer of an experience. And then either they're stuck with them, they got to return them and wait another year. Like, no, thank you. So I just can't bear that responsibility. But my sizing advice always is reach out to the company, do some boot tracings. And for me, just knowing my Red Wing size has been extremely helpful. I think Red Wing sizing, your Iron Ranger, if you know your size in Iron Ranger, that's a pretty good metric for most of your boot sizing, for the most part. I had that with Davia boots, or Devia, I don't know how to say their name, but they were kind enough to send me a pair of boots, and yeah, I was looking at other people give advice on the sizing. And smart people like Bootlosophy, Tech from Bootlosophy, great channel, really, really fun watch. He was saying, I think he takes his sneaker size or his Brannock size. And I'm like, I went a whole size down for my Brannock and they were still, and I don't have the narrowest feet. I guess I have relatively narrow feet compared to maybe a lot of Americans. I don't know. But, yeah, so, I just keep having different sizing experiences, and then other boots I got to size up. So it's your preference. It's how it cups your heel. It's your heel size. It's how you want your toes to feel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So all that to say, and Bakers, for me personally, Bakers, I've got my whites through Bakers a bunch, and they sell Wescos too, and they've been the most helpful. They've really made it that I know my way around the P&W boot world now, sizing-wise. So that's awesome. So highly recommend, reaching out to them, buying a boot from them, but, so just reaching out for them, doing their boot sizing stuff. All right. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm really pumped for these beautiful Wescos to go to a new home. I'm going to miss them. But this is part of the beauty of being into high quality footwear, that is high quality and could put up with a lot. It's like, you might reach an endpoint where you're like, I'm not wearing these a lot. And you're looking at this amazing, gorgeous boot that's built really well. The fact that it can go on and have a new life is just really, really special, and kind of another great reason to be into really nice footwear and good quality footwear. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful week.